Hey everyone, welcome to some more Satisfactory. Today, I will be setting up machines into a hack job of a factory to put out a few key products into my storage at the hub. Up on the screen, you will see these parts and their recipes, as well as their vanilla counterparts. I need to make copper sheets, reinforced iron plates, rotors, modular frames, and smart plating for that space elevator objective. We will also be setting up a new power station here as well. One of the recipes we unlocked last time was the creation of solid biofuel using only iron sheets. Confusing, but I won't complain. Since we can automate that process quite easily, it will make for a good power setup while I take my time getting absolutely wrecked in future adventures. In the last episode, I set up the miners that will be getting all of my raw materials, copper, iron, and limestone. Now we start by using some of those connections to make our first smelters and constructors. The first item I will automate crafting for is reinforced iron plates, as I need them for the constructors and other such machines that I will be using to craft other products. Now, I have already set up the copper sheets, as they take the longest to make, but have the smallest setup, making about one copper sheet out of a bunch of fucking concrete mix, every 6 to 7 minutes with 2 machines. And I will need quite a few copper sheets. Due to the randomness of the machines in my playthrough, I will not even think about trying to properly split inputs and outputs to make it even, as that is literally impossible. Instead, I will do everything mostly one-to-one. That way, I am always getting something, even if it is inefficient. The idea here is that it is going to take me so long to properly set up factories for the messed up recipes in the future, that by the end of it all, these inefficient setups will have filled my containers at the hub regardless. Getting started, the plan is to make a row of smelters, then constructors, then assemblers. Once that is complete, I will conveyor the outputted materials from the assemblers directly back to the hub. Throughout this process, I end up running back to the hub a good number of times for 2 reasons. First, to restock on basic supplies, your iron rods and sheets and concrete and all that jazz, needed for making the actual factory. Second, I need to refill my sad little biomass burner power station that I have at the base that's just barely keeping me going. Luckily though, I made about 20,000 biomass for those burners last time, so despite the extra legwork, I will be alright for power for now. Now that the needed smelters are operating and cooking that naughty ore, I will be moving on to creating the first set of constructors. This initial process will be, as I said earlier, for the reinforced iron plates. Just as a one-time warning, during this playthrough, there will be no factories that are pleasing to the eyes. I will have machines placed randomly, spaghetti conveyors and cables, foliage and rubble clipping through patchy foundation work, and so on and so forth. I cannot be fucked to try to make sense of this random shit, now or ever. I will be happy if it just works at all. For these reinforced plates, I will need to make some iron rods, turn those into screws, and mix them up in an assembler with some regular plates and BAM! Some nice, reinforced iron plates. I can make them by hand too if I want to, but that takes time. Instead, I plan to use multiple $1 million several-ton machines to replace what my little gamer hands can do with a button click. Any one of you who has given your life over to the craft knows that storing your craftables is just as important as crafting those crafts in the first place. Take note for your relationships. Craftception is the most erotic thing in existence. And so, I am looking to upgrade my storage system. Normally, I just make a big fucking wall of containers, which becomes very inconvenient after the second row is made. This time, I'm spicing things up a bit, and making it a tiered system, allowing me easy access to each row while still granting good visibility to the front-facing signs. Now ain't that the sexiest shit ever? It's time for the next stage of our production. I need to make copper wire, cable, and iron plates. These are easy to make, basically almost directly from copper. These will eventually be turned into rotors and modular frames. Anyone who has played Satisfactory before probably just had a stroke from what I just said, since those recipes are ridiculous and far from the original. Nothing to really say here though, since the setup will be very similar to what you saw with the reinforced iron plates, just with the machines on a different setting. Now that those are done, it is time to begin work on the new automated biomass burner power station. Try saying that 5 times. I have reserved about a third of my iron input from this factory just for this process. I do not want to worry about power for as long as possible. First I have to smelt that iron. Then I use a series of constructors to flatten the fuck out of those fresh iron bars, turning them into sheets. The next step is to make another set of constructors, then shake Tinkerbell's thick fucking thighs over them, give them that old magic juice, so that they can somehow fucking roll some iron sheets into some solid biofuel. After that, it's as simple as throwing them in some containers, sending an output from those containers into a bunch of belt-fed biomass burners. And then you flip the switch. Just like that, power has been upgraded. Man, that is... I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty fucking erotic. Finna bust a fucking nut. The last item to set up automated creation for is the smart plating. Unfortunately, I have already used the copper near this facility, so I need to find another deposit nearby. Luckily, copper, like iron, is fucking everywhere. So, not too far away, I begin another small setup for the smart plating. I need wire and cable, which is made from wire. So I just need a shit ton of wire. Throw it all into an assembler and boom! Smart plating at a very slow rate, but it is being made. The next and final step of this whole process is getting the manufactured parts back to the hub via some sexy conveyor lines. this is it. I am making the final connection, and once that is done, I hope to never think about those factories ever again. Now I just have to wait until I have enough smart plating, 50 to be exact, to complete the first space elevator objective. This is probably the only space elevator objective I will be able to complete in a single episode. In the meantime, I decided to reward myself with some tickets to the It Kiosk here, looking to shop like a teenager with their first $20 bill. I start, of course, with the most powerful item in the game, the coffee cup. I also want to see this new item they put in, the Boombox. I have enough coupons here for one cassette as well. Now, I have played a few of Coffee Stain Studios games, but it's been a long time since I opened up Sanctum 2. Excuse you? Oh boy. That's just fucking rude, bud. He's not allowed to break my shit, man. That's right, bitch. Done. That guy's a freak. I decided to give it a shot, since I somewhat recall that soundtrack slapping ass. At some point, I find out that I can place the boombox on the ground for some ambient tunes. I decided it would be cool to put the boombox on my workbench at base. Make the area seem a little more lived in, you know? Anyways, I can't pick it back up. The workbench apparently has a fat fucking interaction box. So now this will be permanently playing at the hub for the rest of this playthrough. While I wait, and I won't bore you with all the little details of the new MAM research tree, as I don't really get it myself, I decide to just shove materials I have into the research bench and upgrade whatever the fuck I find without really thinking about it. In the end, I increased my inventory size, I think twice, and my hand size by 1, and unlocked a small firearm, which should assist me in the next episode. The ammo for this gun, however, takes 50 screws per shot, which is about 12.5 times more expensive than they were in the base game. Whereas the rebar gun, the gun used to fire these shots, is actually kind of reasonable to make. Looks like I'm screwed now. Sorry. Once I have the smart plating, my journey to the space elevator begins. I get to the ramp without a hitch. Nothing. And I get right up to that space elevator with not a bother in the world. It was meant to be. I shove those dirty, naughty little smart platings deep inside that space elevator. Oh, just fucking listen. God, I love the space elevator, man. It's probably the sexiest thing in this game, not gonna lie. And just like that, Phase 1 is complete. Look at that fucking mess. On my way back, I decide to ride the giant manta ray. Take me home, Chief. thinking it as an easy ticket home. One of those demon horses joins me for the ride. Unfortunately, I Pulp Fiction the motherfucker and jump off.
I mean, do you think that God came down from heaven and stopped us?
Oh, fuck's happening now? Oh, man.
This is as close as we're gonna get. Oh, this was a mistake. Oh, that was a mistake. Perhaps it was not a good idea to ride the sky bus that doesn't land. That's it for today's episode. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to get a notification when I publish so you don't miss out. I'm not entirely sure what I will do in the next episode, but for now, I plan on getting some steel production going. Till next time, peace.